And this is going to be very interesting. His name is Sakti Teva. He's a former Airborne Ranger. And he's an Ironman triathlete. He is also an award-winning entrepreneur with 25 years of leadership experience. Today, he coaches professionals who thrive under pressure, not hype, through habits that build mental strength. And just 2 days ago, he completed yet another Ironman triathlon. What do you all do over the weekend? I binge watch Netflix. I don't know about you guys, but he was running a triathlon, and he celebrated by launching his latest book, The Elite Performance Blueprint, after completing a 60-day challenge. And it also happened to be his birthday. So, we will sing happy birthday for him later, okay? So with that, first please welcome the man who doesn't just speak about elite performance, he lives it. Sakti Teva. Big round of applause. So proud of you. Wow. Congrats.
Now once again, advance thank you for your birthday wishes. Now with a show of hands, how many of you agree that achieving pressure or achieving performance under pressure is difficult? Excellent. Now, what if I tell you that you can perform under pressure? In fact, you can elevate your performance by turning pressure into a strategic advantage. Now, this is what I call mental edge. The ability to stay calm, composed, focused, and effective when it matters most. Now, you can turn stress into strategy, and you can turn pressure into performance. Now, I know, sounds really unrealistic, right? In fact, some of you are giving me the look, it's like, Sakti, sure or not? It may sound absurd. If you asked me this same question 15 years ago, I would have laughed at you. Pressure into performance. You must be joking. You see, back then, 15 years ago, my elder girl was about 5 years old. And as usual, one fine day, I brought her to school. So as we were walking, she saw a makeshift bookstore. And immediately started running towards the bookstore, picked up a book, looked at me and said, Papa, can you buy me this book? Now I had to tell her, no, put the book down. Now, not because I didn't want to buy the book, but because I couldn't buy the book for her. I only had $7 in my pocket. No money in my bank. I was broke. So I had to do what any parent would not want to do for their kid. Lie to a 5-year-old child. I say, Visha, this book is not worth buying, so just put it there, let's go. I held her arm firmly and I started walking towards the school, still remembering her disappointed face that day. Now, when I dropped her in school, I realized that moment broke me. Not just financially, but as a father, as a man. Now, I felt like I was just a disgrace to my whole family, right? My key job is to protect the very people and provide for them, and I was not able to because I was not performing at my job, at my work. You see, 8 months ago, I was in the military, stable career. I was there for 12 years, being an Airborne Ranger, being a commissioned officer, telling people what to do while I just look at them and, instruct them. Good life. But I had an aspiration, big dream. I heard this big dream talk, right? I want to start my business. So I came out. 8 months later, there I was at the makeshift bookstore, not being able to buy a book that just cost $10. That's how bad I was. In fact, it was so bad and I was so broke that I was not even able to put food on the table. So can you imagine being an ex-army military officer, not being able to pay for the bills, put food on the table? Now pressure started getting me. So as I was walking back home, I could feel the pressure. Even Airborne Rangers can feel pressure, can feel sad. I was feeling ashamed. I was feeling completely shattered. So when I came in, something caught my eye. It was a photo on the wall. It was a photo of my father pinning my Airborne Ranger badge during my graduation. Now at that moment, something clicked in my head. Hey, Sakti, you have been into the toughest situations, they have drilled mental edge into you because you are a ranger. You have been exposed to all the battle-tested strategies to thrive under pressure. So what the hell are you complaining about your situation? Now at that point, a voice from my training, should be one of those warrant officers or in chase, came to me, Shakti, pressure is not your enemy. It is to build your mental strength or mental edge, especially when you define your mission, design your mindset, and perform with mastery. Now, that's the moment where I realized that, hey, I had operated in one of the toughest environments, and I was drilled with all the battle-tested strategies. So all I got to do is to incorporate it into my business. I'm sure something will change. And that's what I did. And that became my foundation. And that's how I rebuilt myself. I took these strategies, I started implementing into my business. And what happened was, from a business owner who was broke, running my own financial advisory, I became $1 million roundtable consistently in less than 2 years. And I've been consistently doing it till today. And for those of you who are not familiar with the $1 million roundtable, you are deemed to be the top 5% globally in the financial industry. And I did that. And this transformation took less than 2 years. So the good news at that day was, hey, the strategy works. Army did not lie to me. They trained me to be able to perform. So that battle-tested strategies became the seed for what I now call the Triple M strategy. Now, of course, it has been going through a lot of fine-tuning as I went on. And now I actually work with a lot of professionals to be able to thrive under pressure, to be able to perform, to be able to lead their team. So I'm going to share with you 3 key mental shifts. All right, 3 key mental shifts, which is basically the mission, mindset, and mastery that will allow your leaders, the people in your organization, to be able to thrive under pressure. Now, let's go to the first one. Define your mission. Now, this is where it all begins. Mission. Right? So, the moment your mission is in place, you realize that you have a direction. Now, can you imagine yourself running on a treadmill? How many of you like to run on a treadmill? I hate it because no matter how much I run, how much I perspire, feel tired, I feel I'm not going anywhere. But that's the reality. That's how people feel. They are working hard. So burnout does not come just because you're working hard. It comes because you don't even know why you're working so hard. And that's why a lot of people feel that I have no focus. I'm just working because I have to do things day in, day out. It's like driving a car with a GPS with no destination. It's basically just building frustration, it's building fatigue, internal friction, but nothing happens. So let me just share a story. When I train for my Ironman triathlon, I wake up 4 a.m. every single day, or at least most of the days. Sometimes, I give myself a leeway. But I'm not a superhuman. I'm just like you. I would love to sleep until 9 or 10 o'clock. I would love to. But because I'm mission driven, my why wakes me up every day and gets me out of the bed. And it's the same why that tells me, Shakti, every single painful mile, whether I swim, cycle, or run, is done with a purpose. And that gives me the excitement. Now, how do we get our people in our organizations to have that clarity in their mission? So just let me share with you a simple exercise that I share with a lot of my clients. Now, every single day when I wake up, and I'll suggest you can do that as well, ask this question or reflect upon this question. How do I align my actions today with my mission so that I can create an impact? It takes about 5 minutes. Think about that. How can I align my actions today with my mission to make an impact? Now, when you reflect that, you realize that it's simple, but it's science-backed and it works. And that's how mission-driven people are able to accomplish a lot of things because they have a clear direction. So defining your mission is the key. Now, I started with a simple question, or give you all a simple question, because to define your mission takes a bit more time. We only got 15 minutes, so I will not dwell too much into it. But remember, defining your mission makes a difference for people to either break under pressure, or they can use that same pressure to fuel them to achieve amazing stuff. Now that we talked about mission, let's talk about something more interesting, mindset. Everybody wants to talk, the buzzword, right? Mindset, you must have the right mindset. Now Cheryl was sharing about kids. Now I got 2 daughters, and every day I talk to them about mindset. And then my girls come to me and say, Papa, your mindset is not right. It's like how? You know, it's like, it's just a buzzword, right? But mindset is the key. Because remember, even though you have your mission, you have your why, but you got to accept the fact, the truth is, clarity doesn't mean that there's no more pressure. You can't run away from pressure. The pressure is going to be there. So the whole idea is, how can you build a mindset that will allow you to transform pressure into an advantage for yourself? Now that is the key that I learned during the time when I was going through my own transformation. Now let me just share with you. You know, normal people take plane, they go up, they wait for the plane to land before they get off. Now I joined the military and took up a role where normal people don't work there, abnormal people work. Because as an Airborne Ranger, we are expected to jump off a flying plane. That could have landed well, but that's our job, that requirement, right? So usually when I'm on a plane, we are standing up there with a parachute, ready to jump out, the door open, and you can feel the wind. You are about like 10 or close to about more than 1,000 feet. I wouldn't say the exact feet. More than 1,000 feet up there, you can see the ground, and then you're expected to jump. Now, do you think I'm scared? Oh yes, I'm scared. Right? I could still feel my legs shaking. Everything is just normal because, hey, come on, I'm human, right? But the hesitation and fearing at that moment means life and death. So we were taught, instead of thinking that I'm scared, that I got to jump down, we were taught how to reframe it to jumping, saying, Rangers lead the way. Now, why do we do that? Because we say that we reframe the situation that we are leading the people behind me by leading by example. So we reframe the situation. We are elite. We are special. That's why we jump. Not abnormal, but special. That's why we are called elite soldiers. So what happens is that we reframe. So think about another example, right? Roller coaster. 2 people seated up there. One is screaming out of fear while the other is laughing out of excitement. Same ride, but different reactions. Why? It's because of the story that we tell ourselves when we see pressure, when we are stressed. And this is what happened to me when I was under pressure going back home that day from the bookstore, because I was telling the story that I was a failure. But when I reframed it, it became a case that what's the opportunity for me? So building a mindset, in fact, it's not about just mindset shift, but it's about transforming your mindset to be able to have a resilient mindset and looking at everything as an opportunity to perform. Now, I'm going to just share with you another exercise, a simple exercise. Now think of a challenge or pressure that you are facing right now. Anything. Okay, I can see all of you are really going into that, right? All the challenge, all the serious face. Okay, all right, I can see. Right, now that you have thought of that pressure or the challenge you're going through, ask yourself, instead of thinking, what is going to happen when I don't do this, or how the pressure is going to get me down, start asking yourself, how can this pressure grow me? Just ask this simple question and don't answer. Just let your subconscious mind to tell you. Just think about it. If you don't have the answer, no problem. Go for your coffee, walk around, just keep asking, how can this pressure grow me? Just asking, you will get the answer. Even when you are sleeping, you will wake up in the middle of the night, hey, I can do this. So the whole idea is about reframing every situation that you have. And that's what happened. Now we talked about mindset. We talked about having a mission. Let's talk about mastery. Right? Now, this is one of the most interesting things that I love a lot. Now, the third pillar, mastery, it's not an overnight thing. No, mental age doesn't come overnight. Right? It's not like, oh, once you get crisis, oh, give it to me, and then you got power, and then you are like able to do. Mastery is about performing to get the right skill sets. To first of all identify what are the skill sets and knowledge that I need to refine to be able to perform up to mark. So there are a lot of blind spots. So this is where I realized that mastery is about day-to-day things that you do. It's about developing the micro habits, the discipline. I call it a compounding consistency. Pick up something and do it daily, again and again and again. So let me give you an example. Now, Eric introduced me as the Ironman. Sounds cool, right? Ironman. But the truth is this. In 2008, I had a complete ACL and meniscus tear. I did not go for reconstruction. I'm still having an ACL and meniscus tear. So, I shouldn't be running, in fact. But the only reason what I realized was, what can I do to work around it? So I decided, I want to go for half marathon. I went there. Then I realized I went for full marathons. Was good, but not challenging enough. You run already, then that's it, right? So what's next? So that's why I realized, let's do something more different. Ironman. Sounds cool, right? Ironman. So then when I saw the distance, 3.8 kilometers ocean or sea swim. Already like, oh, Indian cannot swim, then make me swim. Right? Okay, this one is an army joke. Then 180 kilometers cycle immediately after the swim. Then you got to run a full marathon, 42.2 km. All these within 17 hours. Now, it's not overwhelming. It's crazy. Normal human being won't do. But the good news is, I was abnormal. I jumped out of a working plane, so got chance. So that's what I did. But I did not wake up one day and saying, I'm going to go Ironman over the weekend. It took me 2 years to train for a full Ironman, which I did last year in Busselton, Australia. Full Ironman. It took me 2 years because I went for the small little races. I got the coach. What I did was every single day when I was doing my training, I just told myself, do it better by 1%. Is 1% hard? No, she's giving the smile. 1% okay, Sakti, no problem. 1% every single day. I could not swim. Or actually, I can swim. I can swim, but I was not a strong swimmer. Because they told me that it's not breaststroke, but it is front crawl. It's like, 3.8 kilometers. So I got a coach to train me. And I told myself that every single time I swim, it's about going for that one extra lap. I did better than yesterday. It's about going a bit faster in my cycle by about 5 kilometers per hour. I did better than yesterday. And then it's about running another 2 more kilometers slightly faster. So I kept on improving, and that's what happened. Eventually, I cleared my Ironman, and right now I'm on a goal of doing 25 Ironmans. Actually, the whole idea for the 25 Ironmans is to just age gracefully and then be fit so that, I can still run with my grandchildren. So it's like a purpose, a goal, something, a GPS that I can do. So I do that. Also, a lot of reasons for me to run away from household chores. Right? So it's 2 in 1, right? So why not? So this is what I did. So now that we have talked about mission, we talked about mindset, we talked about mastery. All right? Let me just share with you, this triple M strategy is something that has been refined along the way. And I, for one person, believe that I do not want to teach, speak, or coach anyone without going through it, because I believe in walking the talk. So in order for me to do that, it's not now, I'm not here to tell you that all of y'all are going to be trained if you invite me to speak to become an Ironman. Huh? No, that's not the case. It's not about Ironman, but the principles of performance are the same. Whether as a business owner, whether as a speaker, whether as a sales professional, it's the same. Why? Because recently I worked with a sales director who was brilliant, but he was unfocused and felt that he was not getting the results that he wanted. So we sat down and we worked. And then first thing he told me, Sakti, don't make me run. Don't make me swim, you just train me in this. So when we worked for 3 months, what happened was that after 3 months, the following quarter, he actually improved his team or group production by 30%. By he cutting off 15% of his work time. Good thing, no? You work 15% lesser but get 30% more income. Not bad, what? Does that call burnout? No, that calls for celebration. So that's what happened, right? So there's no such thing. I agree with Cheryl, right? There's no such thing as work-life balance. It's about work-life integration. How do you effectively manage your time and your resources? So now just to share with you all before we go in, last weekend, or quite some time ago, I decided to make or bring it into one notch higher. I decided, it's Sakti, enough, right? You do Ironman and everything. Let's do something. I've been talking about writing a book, right? So I've been talking about it for the last 1.5 years. Hey, I'm an authority in elite performance, ranger and everything, but you say only, so what? So I decided to write a book. But I've been talking about writing a book for longest of time. So I gave myself 60 days. 26th of March, I told myself, Sakti, 60 days, and this is what I'm going to do. Using the triple M strategy, I'm going to write my book and get it printed on 25th May, which is my birthday, 48th year birthday, right? And the same time, I'm going to go for an Ironman race and clear it on the day. So on the day itself, I'm going to finish the Ironman with my book in my hand. The first printed copy, this is what you see. And I got my Ironman. And the thing is, I just did not spend the 60 days just doing Ironman training every day. I did not wake up, go Ironman training, eat and sleep. I had to still go for my appointments, I still go for my speeches, I still go for my coaching sessions, and I still have to do housework. I'm not excused from that. So life went on as per normal. Now, it was a tough thing when I first decided to do that, but it happened. Why? Because pressure is not your enemy. It helps you to build your mental edge. When you define your mission, for me, is to have a book and finish my Ironman in line. Design your mindset. Yeah, it's going to be tough. First of all, accept it. It's going to be tough, and I'm going to do it. And third of all, perform with mastery. How can I be very effective to do it within the given resources and time? And with this in place, I managed to do it. So I would like to invite all of you all, think about it. How would it be if your teams, your professionals and your individuals in your team come up to you one day and when they see pressurizing situation, they tell you, hey, no problem. I'm trained. I can handle this. Now that is what we want, right? Now it's not fantasy. It can be done. The triple M strategy is something that can be done. So mission, mindset, mastery. So I would like to invite all of you all to let's build the mental edge together. Thank you. Back to you, Eric.
Stay over here. Wow, this is so cool. Shall we all sing a birthday song for him? And wait, whose birthday is in this month? We are in the month of May. Anyone's birthday this month? Okay, those of you birthday this month, can you all come forward over here? Come on, don't be shy. What, now you're doubting your birthday? come over here, we'll sing together with you. Okay, come over here. Don't be shy, come on, it's worth celebrating. Today is all beyond burnout, right? It's about celebrating yourself too. Yeah. Oh wow. Very nice job capturing your message. Okay, so on the count of three, we're gonna sing happy birthday to you, all three of you. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Happy birthday to